To get things started tonight, I have a very special guest. I mean, this guy, inspired me to get my channel kicked up and going. And I'm just happy to have him as our first guest on this new show. And you guys know his channel is Fisherman's Life. It's Matt Madsen. Matt, thank you for coming on tonight. We're happy to have you on the channel. It was awesome meeting you at the street fair this year. That was an awesome event. And thank you for joining us for this segment.
Yeah, my pleasure. I didn't know it was the first. I was the first guest.
You are the first guest, yeah.
And professional fisher people. I guess that's a good
politically
adjective to describe what I do.
Yeah, I was just explaining to you before we came on the air too, is that, on a personal note, I shot videos for years that had nothing to do with fishing, but when my kids introduced me to your channel, the way you were figuring out how to fish and taking us along while you learned really inspired me to start my own channel and get going. Even though fishing's been in my family forever, I come from a fisherman family. For years, I didn't even pick up a pole. And it was just the idea of going out, having a good time, enjoying nature, and just giving it a shot. You're not going to be an expert at first, and just seeing what works for you. And that really got me going in fishing. So if we all love the sport of fishing, and without that, none of us would be here. But when did you fall in love with fishing?
Oh, well, fishing for me started well before I could handle a rod or a reel. Probably when I was about 7, 8 or 9. That's my earliest memories of fishing out here in the ocean at the Ritz-Carlton area with my dad and mom. Those are kind of the origins, and kind of fishing from the piers, like Hyde Street Pier, fishing for smelt with a trout rod. Nothing fantastic, just something to get you hooked.
Nice. To us here on the East Coast, and I know a lot of the people watching my channel are East Coast people, it's so wild to see the difference of East to West Coast fishing. I mean, we have saltwater fishing here, but it's totally different. I mean, a sheep's head to us isn't some weird pink and purple fish. It's a black and white striped fish. So it's the differences are just insane. But just to expand on that some more, I know it's real deep in my family, and I'm glad to hear that's where it started for you at the same time. I do think fishing is a great way to connect to family and get it going. But to move on to your channel, we followed you on solo camping trips, over the rocks on the shoreline, in your boats, the butter boat, of course. Which one of these fishing trips were your favorite?
I gotten that question a few times before, and I used to always say the trout river. It's just something about being in the forest and the river flowing by, and it's just calm and serene. But lately, the fishing out in the open water is kind of taken over. Whenever I cross the Golden Gate Bridge or something and I look out at the ocean, it's like this longing to be back out there again.
My gosh, this fish is heavy. And he's not done yet.
Something about being alone in the vast ocean is really appealing to me.
I have to say, I'm so jealous when you're catching those king salmon out on your boat. That's crazy.
Yeah, those were fun.
I'm excited. I caught a 16.5 smallmouth bass this weekend. I was like, yes. And you're
16.5 pound,
16.5 inch. No.
Okay, that's a good one still.
Yeah, well, I'm a kayak fisherman, so when we do tournaments, it's all based on measuring. So we're always trying to catch the biggest one, and I think the record at most of our lakes around here is like 20 inches. So it's nothing.
Oh, is it?
Nothing spectacular. So when you're catching those big salmon out there, it's crazy, just mind blowing.
Yeah, probably about 10 times the size.
Yeah. So what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you on one of these trips?
Craziest thing. I actually just did a video where I came back from a camping trip at the same spot where this crazy thing happened. It's a little bit of a story, if that's all right.
Sure.
Should I go ahead and tell
Go
it?
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was biking along. It's a biking place, a trout fishing place by the river, and there's no reception there at all. There's no one really out there except hunters and fishermen. And there's this bike path that you've got to go up and down towards the river, back up and back down. It's all dirt road. So I was about 5 or 6 miles alone on this road, and where the path went uphill, there was this old Volvo, had a lot of dust on the windows. I didn't think too much of it at that time, thought it was maybe a hunter or a fisherman. So I went in, passed, another 5 miles, did my camping trip. Everything was successful, made a video. The next day I was headed out and passed by that same car again. And as I passed it, I just thought something was really strange about it. So I turned back around, took a picture of the license plate, and just went back on my way, got my car, went home. Didn't think much of it. Finally got home about 2 weeks later. I remembered I took a picture. So I searched up that license plate on Google, and first thing that popped up was a missing person. Yeah.
So you're the person to find the missing person's car? Is that, or is it someone got kidnapped in that car?
I don't know the whole story. It's kind of a crazy story, but yeah, I called the Fresno Police Department and the family, and that's they said that was their first lead.
Wow.
And a couple weeks later, someone was out there and they found a body.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Now that takes the cake as the craziest story yet.
I think that's up there. Yeah. That's up there.
So when are you going to start hosting Dateline now on that?
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
That is crazy.
I still don't know if it's really been resolved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got nothing even close to scratching that one.
Yeah, and to think that I was out there, and that guy was probably out there at the same time that I was.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hey, that's one of the things. And like you were just saying before, your favorite trips being out there alone and stuff. That's, you never know. You never know. So, it's people that know me personally know that I have a love affair with California. And you're lucky enough to be born there and grow up and your whole life, but you probably don't like it as much as a person that's injected into it does.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I
Really?
never thought about it that way.
Oh yeah. I moved back to where I grew up, and it's a love-hate relationship. So even though we're in the Catskills here in New York and it's the trout fishing capital of the world, I don't trout fish. So go figure that one.
Something you could always take up.
Yeah, no, well, fly fishing is on the schedule, so we'll see what happens. Possibly. But I love Southern California. I know you're up in NorCal, but where's your favorite place in the state to go fishing?
My favorite place.
Yeah, maybe not your daily place, but something that's like you're planning a trip to because you love it that much.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I like it all. I like it all so much, but one thing that really appeals to me still from the start is just rock fishing from shore in a really secluded spot. Yeah, you can catch huge fish, or even if you don't catch anything, it's still really nice to be out there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's we've watched so many videos. You're just rock fishing off of there before the boat and those kind of things started. That's some of my favorites. It's actually I fished stripers in the on Massachusetts using your same techniques. Nice little striper on the Kitex swim bait. All right, buddy. See you later. With a Kitex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And this is the same setup as yours. Yep. And I was catching stripers there off the coast, right by Boston. Yeah. So it works. That works both coasts. So
Yeah, that's something we both share fish wise.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get to the most important question here tonight. What's your cholesterol level, and do you bleed butter by now?
I know. I probably do. That's something that I wanted to make a video about and just leave the results unedited. I think that would be
Yeah,
that'd
going
be a
to the
lot better.
doctors for your cholesterol test. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be.
get the
I
counts.
I have to say, the boiling the fish in a pot full of butter, that was new extremes.
Yeah, that was kind of just going on the whole meme, just supporting the meme. But it turned out to be really good when I cooked that eel in it.
Yeah,
Tasted like
yeah.
lobster,
Oh, I
but it was
bet.
just
I bet.
that was just a
It's
joke.
some of my favorite videos are where you're the catch and cook, or I expect you to do a catch and cook like every single time. So it's kind of weird when you don't. And I do like where you bring them to restaurants now. That's a pretty awesome way of cooking after a catch.
Yeah, kind of trying to change it up a little bit, get a little bit more of a professional take on the cooking aspect of it all.
Right. Yeah, it's cool. So this kind of is like, what's your favorite fish to catch? But all in all, like, favorite fish to catch and favorite fish to catch and cook.
Um, Probably goes back to the rocks,
Mhm.
catching a big lingcod from the rocks. That's about as thrilling as you can get, I think. There's really rare, hard to come by at times. So when you do hook something big like that, and you know it's most likely a lingcod, really gets your heart pumping. And just rockfish and lingcod, they're kind of in the same family. So when it comes to eating them, they're both in the same category for me. And hard to overcook a rockfish. They taste good, but just about any way you cook them, fried or steamed, or in pan fried or whatever. Don't get dry like halibut, but that's
Yeah.
probably what I would go with. And you catch a few more fish though to really give you the best answer.
I have to say, lingcod is on my bucket list of species. So
Never caught one yet?
no, I've been a couple time offshore fishing in San Diego, and just some small rockfish, but nothing like a lingcod or anything.
Yeah, I don't think the lingcod go down there as
As
many
much.
numbers,
Yeah, there
right?
I've seen a couple guys on charter boats have caught
Yeah,
them, but
yeah.
yeah, it's not as prevalent as it is up by you, for sure.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, yeah. So back to the channel. You're so big now, and in reality, it's 1.1 million subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers to have on a fishing related channel. Yeah, especially where you started and the type of channel that you have, compared to someone that's like a pro angler, like a Scott Martin, or as someone like that their bread and butter is their fishing and fishing tournaments and stuff. How do you have 260 videos under your belt now? How are you keeping things fresh and engaging new people?
Well, it's hard sometimes. I don't want to keep doing the same old catch and cook all the time. That's why I'm kind of trying to introduce the cooking with the restaurants or some of the boat videos where I don't cook. So kind of just throwing ideas out there, and you never know which one's going to stick. Like for example, I had a video where we shot that halibut in Alaska. I don't know if you've
Mhm.
seen that one.
Yeah.
And I didn't think much of it when I posted it, but it just blew up on the trending page. Now it's got over 17 million views. And
I think
I
the
think you just
thumbnail of
gotta,
that one alone gave it a that was a big talking point.
yeah. I didn't even think much of it. I just put it together real fast. And
Yeah, yeah. No, that was a cool thing, because even that one, that got me talking with people about. He had to shoot halibut to. It was
yeah,
that's just nuts. Yeah, absolutely. That's those kind of things are what keep us coming back, and it's always a surprise. So we know fisherman'slife.net, where you're selling your products, and I think it's pretty awesome that you have your own line of lures, and even though I was at the street fair, I've seen them in person and stuff. I can't really use them for bass fishing, but I'm sure they'll bite on it though, because half the time they'll bite on anything. But you have your own lines of lures, rigs, the rigs for the bait fish.
The which one? The jiggy jigs that grab
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
jigs or the cable baiters.
The cable baiters. That's what I was looking for. That's pretty awesome. Those are cool. So what's new? What's coming down the pipe? And what's the most popular product you have out there?
I think the most popular is the new jigs that I put out, the small 20 to 50 gram jigs that just kill it from shore for rockfish, or you can use it from a boat on a calm day. But uh, I there's products similar to what I have out there, but I'm tweaking it a little bit so they're more specific to the West Coast guys and what we target, like
Right.
bigger hooks instead of little trebles, something that won't bend. And a lot of the tackle that I have now, they're just kind of on their first season of, if you will. So on every new order I put in, I'm going to tweak them a little bit and get them more dialed in to what works the best. But besides tackle, I get so many requests to go fishing, and something I've been thinking about for a long time is having a charter boat. So I was thinking about dabbling in that a little bit, something like a 6-pack where I'd go out there every other time, have a captain, but I'd be on the boat too. I
I'll
think
sign up.
that'd be fun. Yeah, yeah, come on back out here.
Yeah. Well, my next question is about the Fisherman's Life Street Fair, and we just so happened to be staying in San Diego for 2 weeks, and at the end of those 2 weeks, you announced the street fair for. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, honey, you know where we got to go.
Yeah, I'm glad you came.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. So, are you doing it again? Is it coming back next year?
Yeah, we plan to. I just had a little pop up here last Saturday, and a little bit same place, 37th
Nice.
and Ortega.
Yeah.
But yeah, last year we rented that whole block, filled it with fishing vendors. This year we're going to try to do it with 2 blocks and be a little more organized with the fishing vendors that we have it be a little bit more professional maybe. But yeah, free entry to everyone. Everyone's invited from around the world. And yeah,
Nice.
we want to do it again, probably same time, August or October.
Yeah. I'll be back.
Cool. Yeah,
I'll actually be in San Fran in 2 weeks, but I'm only there for like 24 hours. So no time to fish. I will be fishing in San Diego though. So yeah, watch for those harbor videos. They're coming next week. Well, hey, just as a final question, because we've hit our 10 minutes. I know there's a lot of young people that watch the videos. I know my kids watch your videos when they were a lot younger, and now they're all out of the house. So not to make you feel old or anything, but it's more I'm getting old,
Oh, we all are.
Yeah. But so what's something you could tell some of the younger viewers out there? What can they grab from you, and what kind of tips do you have?
Well, I think a lot of what I promote is really just getting out there, enjoying the outdoors. If you got friends who enjoy the same hobbies, get out there and do it together, build good relationships. But if something's holding you back, you really just got to get out there and give it a shot. And, don't know until you try. And another thing you could do also is find someone else that likes it just as much as you, maybe has a little more experience and can help guide along the way. I think that's a good starting point.
Awesome. So actually, I'm going to sneak one more in here, and I'd had this as a separate question I never put on there, but we're a community on YouTube, and we all share and give to each everybody. What's a couple channels that you like to watch? That's some of your regulars, because I have my regulars. What do you like to tune in every once in a while?
For sure, all the local guys like Die Hard Fishing, Outdoor Chef Life, all these guys. I Joe Robinette bushcraft videos, stuff like that. But lately, last week, actually, I deleted everything from my phone, like social media and stuff. I'm really trying not to get devoured by that and really just try to focus on myself and getting out there. Yeah,
No,
not putting too much focus on other things.
Yeah. Well, when you lost your phone that one episode on the rocks and that guy found it for you, you had your opening there just to get rid of it.
Yeah, and I told myself I'm not even going to download anything from that point on.
Right.
And I had bought a new phone, and that was, I was taking a nap at home, and my wife came in and said, "You won't believe somebody found your phone."
That's just crazy.
Underwater, and it still works.
That phone manufacturer should sponsor the channel now.
Yeah, right.
Saltwater resistance. There you go.
Yeah, and it still works too.
That's nuts. I've go through so many phones. Matts, I really appreciate you spending the time with us today and kicking off this new series. It's a pleasure to have you as the first one. Again, I say you're one of the reasons why I started this whole thing, and we love following you on your ride fishing from when you were just figuring it out a few years ago until now you're like the expert out there. Your own lures and everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on and joining us on the sticks. Hopefully down the road we can get together and actually throw a few lines in the water.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe hopefully before the next street fair. But yeah, my pleasure to be out here. Wish you lots of success on this journey.
Yeah. No, we'll definitely get together. All right, thanks, Matts.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You too.
Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and buy my nose. Anything is possible. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and buy my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah.